You find yourselves in the church this evening, in the chapel, standing pretty much where we last left off. With you guys inquiring as to what the chapel was, the books, the people within, the nature of the hospital itself, and everything in between. Ottilie, having mentioned she has a Bible. Specifically stolen from a certain church this group previously called home. And I believe Isabella had some rather terse words for Ottilie. Would you care to recap?
Isabella had revealed that the wafers and the Bible that were stolen from that particular church was the one that Isabella had often frequented as a infant, child, adolescent, teenager. It was her home in every meaning of the word. And Ottilie stole from it!
The church we find ourselves in, the chapel we find ourselves in, the hospital that we find ourselves in, has been sitting vacant for about 40 years. There have been lots of goings-on within this building. Lots of rumors. It was shut down in the early 80s due to a rash of mysterious disappearances. Originally, it was set up to provide some of the best healthcare in the area. No matter what walk of life you came from. And then much later, found itself on the decline and eventually shuttered. Now, there's a little more about it as our players have found out. We're going to open up our floor to the players tonight to figure out what they are doing and how they wish to start off this evening. Don't forget, if you have resonances available from your hunting session, they are still active until I tell you otherwise. You have the blood bags on you should you need them. But your resources for the moment are limited. Opening the floor to our players, Ottilie, Dee, and Elizabeth.
And suddenly a cat.
Whiskers! He's returned!
You see Whiskers walking through the chapel. Just noses open the door a little bit, kind of, and meanders on through the church. Goes to rub up against you, Isabella. Falls right through you.
Every time.
He goes up to pet the cat.
Okay, so we should maybe try to formulate a small plan, but I still think we should just go tackle some doors. Tackle some doors.
Well, yes. Maybe. Hold up. And Dee is just going to check her bag and make sure everything is there, which out of character, yes, everything is there. Which means Dee has... Not only does she have her guns, but she also has the salt rounds that go with them. And she gets really happy when she discovers her salt rounds. So you guys, you know how demonic entities and bad spirit things are weak to certain items? Mostly holy shit. However, for those of us that don't have holy items. And she holds up the salt rounds. We got salt!
We got a Bible.
Demons are also weak to passive-aggressive comments.
Haha! We got an arsenal, bitches!
So,
I mean, at least
so
you
I'm not
guys
sure
were
how to
prepared.
use this thing. I don't know how to use it, but I'm sure we just open it and like read things, right?
Isabella's gonna look at Audley. Do you believe in it?
There's got to be a level of
I'm,
belief.
I'm holding it. Of course, I believe in it.
Do you
It's as close to me as Penelope.
have a belief in what it means, though? Do you have faith?
I did before I took a chicken to the face.
For those of you unaware, that was a reference to Season 1, Episode 1. If you would like to watch that episode, it's up on YouTube.
I'm not sure if it will work. In fairness, you guys are a lot more prepared than some of the other groups that have come through here.
Looks in my bag and remembers, oh yeah, I have a Glock and 2 big knives. Hell yeah!
You know, I'm beginning to feel like I'm missing actual weapons, but that's okay because I can just be the weapon, or I can take Penelope's.
You are a weapon. You're a badass.
For reference,
I
when they were...
can manipulate the hell out of a can of tuna. I really can. It's amazing.
For reference, the weapon stock up was Season 2, Episode 1, which you were not present for. But, like they said, you are a weapon.
Yeah.
Unless you want to borrow 2 of my 9mm handguns. I got 4 of them.
You wish to give the corgi handguns.
It's our best idea yet.
I might do better with a pitchfork if you have one of those.
To quote Argo, this is our best bad idea.
In going back to what I said earlier, 17 groups have come through here, but only 7 were sent by the sister.
What were the other groups?
Well, a couple of groups were squatters, homeless people looking for shelter from the cold. One of them was a weird group of people with very small cameras.
Are you saying Ghost Hunter came through?
Yeah, apparently thrill seekers. The last group, the last group was a group of teenagers.
I had a question.
What's your question?
What happens to the people's things they bring with them, their items?
Well, if the walls don't eat them, I've never seen where they end up. But if I had to guess, they don't survive through the building changing.
Okay.
It's like, you ever have that thing that happens where you put something down and you don't find it again until it's like a completely different area or even like a different place? It's kind of like that. Then again, the only place I've never seen any of this stuff, so that means most likely it's in the one place I can't go to.
That group of teenagers you mentioned, They didn't happen to have any pets with them, did they?
One of them, no. One of them talked about a dog that they had at home, but there were no pets.
Did the dog bite them?
I don't see how that is relevant. Why?
I think all pets were left at home.
All pets have been left at home. It was just thrill seekers, urban explorers, that weird ghost hunter group. They all came through. They all were... Most of them didn't mean to end up here. And I tried to help. The teenagers spent a lot of time in here, but there's nothing here for them to eat. They serve as a battery for the building.
More like food.
What's a battery but food for electronics?
If we're using the analogy that the hospital is a body, would you say that you and Whackers are the brain of it?
That's hard to say. If the people who come in here are the food, it's almost like... I hate to use this analogy, but I was never the most scholarly in school. If I was lucky, I got a C average. So I guess he would be the brains, but I would be the heart.
Okay.
C average would still be passing in the state of California.
C's get degrees.
Are you sure he's not a scalpel?
Dorothea once joked that I had a heart that was too big for my chest.
I was about to say, if anything, you would be the heart of this monster hospital.
In that case,
Okay.
the hospital's kind of doomed, but...
What is the furthest anyone has made it?
In the hospital?
Yes. Anyone made it to getting to the Duckmaster Supreme?
The rooms change. Rooms never stay the same area. I'm surprised that we found the numbers in order.
But doesn't he have his own area?
Yes, and that changes.
Okay.
And we know that he can make this. We know that he can make this hospital infinitely long. So it's not like we're confined to a space.
Okay, so just because we're in this wing right now, when we open that door, we might be somewhere completely different.
That has happened, yeah. I can open that.
Okay.
I can enter through here in my area, and I'll open the door, and I'll end up in, say, the morgue.
So he can just keep turning us around instead of letting us get to him, or he could take us directly to him if he wants to.
You know who knows him really well?
The psychiatrist?
The shrink?
Mm-hmm.
The one we've been trying to find while we're hanging out in here, which is not finding anyone?
We were taking
Let's
a
go find
short
the shrink.
rest. Let's find ourselves a shrinking.
Let's go find Mr. Shrinky.
There's a small itty bitty issue with this plan.
But
That is.
He has to find us?
No, it'd be easier if the shrink could fucking find us. He's only in the psych ward. And
But the hospital keeps changing?
So the only way we can find it is if we keep opening doors.
Well,
And all the doors look the same, so we won't know if it's the psych ward door until we open it, and I can't always guarantee all the doors are safe.
I mean,
Wait, okay. I have a question for the storytellers.
What's up?
Yes.
When we open doors, do they open towards us or towards the room?
Depends on the door. Would you like me to start describing that for you?
Yes, please, because I need to know the anatomy of my Penelope.
I'm going to tell you right now, I don't know if you can take the Penelopes with you, but we will describe the doors for you.
we're gonna need a U-Haul.
I have an idea, but I need a description to know.
Okay. So that for me, planning, I'm going to let you know right now. And for those of you that don't know, when I cross my fingers like this, or when any of the players cross their finger like this, we are talking basically out of character. My players have also been trained to say out of character question or out of character speech, something like that. So we know it's not interrupting the story itself. When I was planning, that was an inconsequential detail. So if I forget, please poke me to let you know during my narration. Okay? And I will let you know which way the door is facing if I forget to tell you.
Okay.
Make sense?
Yes, we can go back in now.
Cool.
Okay, so we really have not a lot of options except to hang out here and rest a little bit. I say that as soon as we can, we just go. That's it.
What's up, D?
While like doing the resting thing, as D, I want to kind of look around this little chapel again, see if I can find any like hooks, like canes or anything like that, or like if one of those groups had brought in those little grabby stick things.
Intelligence plus investigation, please. And while you roll that, I'm going to go grab another cup of coffee.
Okay, I think the biggest bummer is that we can't take anything out of this room, though. That's my biggest bummer.
Yeah,
He's okay. I'm just praying.
But if you're praying, then maybe you could use the Bible and read.
Yeah, maybe you should be using the Bible.
Hey God, I'm having a little trouble. Hey God, it's me, Elizabeth. I'm having a lot of troubles. Please help.
Hey God,
Hey
it's Adelie. I found your book.
God, in nomine Padre, et Filii, et Spiritus Sancti. Amen.
Hey God, could you just tell me, like, what page there's an exorcism in this book? Because I don't know it.
Exorcisms is a whole separate document and a whole separate book. There are passages about exorcisms in the Bible itself, but the actual like process of it is a very like it's a very specialty priest thing. Like it's a special order of the Pope. So it is very unlikely we are ever going to get our hands on an exorcism book in game.
So out of character, I don't know a lot about that side because that's a Catholic side and I'm non-denominational. But the reason I have the Bible is because I study it. So like all I know is like Old Testament stuff because that's my favorite part. So like Adelie and me, neither of us would even know where to look for that part.
T, what did you roll?
I was still collecting the dice I needed to do my roll while waiting for you.
Oh, okay, that worked out for the best.
I was saying that Elizabeth is praying, just like to like arms crossed, head back, eyes closed, just like to herself, just praying while we're here.
Tell me, was Elizabeth overly religious before being embraced?
I don't wholly believe so. I think because she became so busy with her career, she like just fell out of habit. But I think because she's been so desperate since being embraced for like any sort of redemption, that she's like clinging on to that really old Catholicism that she grew up with.
Make a note of that for your character sheet and background.
Yay!
One moment while we roll the dice.
I was not overly prepared. Please forgive me.
I believe we had an entire speech about this before we began session tonight.
I'm offended. I gave you an entire warning.
Like, what the hell, guys? Did you not pay attention to the warning when we started the game? Like, my God.
Swear to God, I'm like a broken record. Nobody listens to my...
I'm a
Girl,
fun.
I know. I know, girl. I know.
Like, yeah, it's so nice to be heard.
Difficulty 4.
I only have one die, and I keep it with me, so I listen.
All right, 5, 2,
How many?
2.
So you're going to count up. You're going to count up your successes for me, and then you're going to let me know if you have any critical successes or any bestial fails.
So I have 3 successes and 4 failures. One of them is a 1.
Was it a hunger die?
Nope, I have no hunger die. Because of Clarence. I'm still full from Clarence.
Unfortunately, your difficulty was 4. You got 3 successes and a 1 for a critical fail. You do not find anything around here.
I'm gonna have to use my Remington shotgun to push open doors then.
Warning from our chat from Blindy, who would like to remind you all, I hope that you remember the storyteller did say this hospital can and will possibly kill your characters, player characters.
That's just mean to remind us.
But it is a reminder nonetheless.
You step out into the hallway. You see the faded paint and woodwork of the hallway that lines this place. Across the way from your current room, you see what might be a little gathering area or common area with some worn furniture. Dusty, springs poking up everywhere. This is not the entrance that you entered through. This is not the hallway that you entered through. Off to your left, you can see the hallway fades off into darkness, and off to your right, you can see the hallway once again fades off into darkness. But it's just your worn, empty, and abandoned building for the moment. Ceiling tiles, those square ceiling tiles that were all too common. Some of them hanging haphazardly, some of the tiles on the floor are cracked, and your footsteps echo up and down the hallway as you step, reminding you of just how lonely this place is. You can hear the wind whispering through the hallways, through the broken windows. You can hear leaves dancing off somewhere in the distance. But you can't really pick a direction. Reminding you that, for all intents and purposes, for the moment, you are alone.
This is disappointing. Last time it was in the cafeteria. Like, don't get me wrong. Hospital food, goddamn fucking awful. But one time they had a really, really good mac and cheese, and I had to beg Mortimer for me to have like a second serving because, oh, it was so good. Now I'm hungry, and I'm dead, and I can't even fucking eat food.
Do ghosts even
Okay.
feel hunger?
I get phantom hunger, phantom pains. The only plus side is I don't feel the need to do drugs anymore, which is kind of nice.
Yeah.
Dee puts up her hand for a high five.
Isabella looks at it, shrugs. I was clean a year before I died. Gives her a high five.
What are our players wishing to do?
I just want to know, since this is the hospital, knowing is probably going to change, but at least it's a good idea for now. What direction was the shrink's place? So we know which part of the hallway to go down to start, even if it changes, at least it's a plan, it's a direction, it's a, yeah.
Before the hospital started to turn into a hellscape and everything never stayed the goddamn same way it was supposed to be. Left. It was down the left hallway.
We should go left.
Yeah.
You start moving down the hallway to the left. Again, your footsteps, the footsteps of your group, echoing throughout this place. Again, very lonely feeling. So if you're the only ones in the world, you can almost feel the sadness and despair seeping throughout the hallways of people that will probably never see the light of day again. The people that have died here. Again, you can hear the wind whispering through the hallways, a slight breeze. You're not sure where it's coming from. The further down the hallway you move, the darker it seems to get as the light fades, the electricity dying out. Isabella seems to have a few issues turning the lights on for you. Every once in a while, the lights just refuse. It becomes a little more frequent the more that you go. The further that you go. From somewhere up ahead, you can hear the dripping of water. You can hear something fall off of a table. And then, silence. The wind, the leaves, the water, it all stops. As the walls begin to flake, and they begin to melt.
Oh no.
Aha, laugh that up, dickhead.
Hang on to your pants. It's happening again.
They start to flake away and disappear into dust, left in the wake of the walls, the ceiling. Corroded iron, skeletal structures. You can hear screams off in the distance, and for a moment, Isabella disappears.
Is he?
She fades as the world changes. You can see broken furniture now lining the hallways. The dripping water is now turned into a running sound. The screams moving closer and closer, and then fading into nothing. Off in the distance you can hear kids crying. You can hear adults crying and moaning, screaming for help.
Are we in the morgue?
I look around. Does it look like we're in some kind of morgue?
No. You are in a hallway. Seems to stretch into infinity with doors lining left and right.
Ah, son of a bitch.
All of the
Nope, we
doors are
just in the hall.
closed for the moment.
We're gonna have to just try a door, aren't we?
Yeah.
Oh, shit.
Who
Anybody
hasn't
want-
gotten the door yet?
I got a door.
I got a door.
Your turn, babe.
God damn it. Okay. All right. So I am gonna look for a door that looks like you gotta push to open it.
You find one sitting right in front of you, actually. To the right.
Now, do I just push it to open it, or do I have to turn a knob to open it? And if so, what kind of knob is it?
It's an old brass doorknob, about waist high. And a moment later, you hear a whispering, familiar voice as Isabella starts to flicker, floating a few centimeters above the floor once again.
Motherfucker, stop fucking do that!
Welcome back, Izzy.
Hi.
So we're trying this door here, and I point to the door in front of me.
Excellent.
Also, the doorknob, is it like a round doorknob, or is it one of those that has like the little latch thing?
No, it's a round doorknob. A round brass doorknob.
Cool. So,
Adelie is standing behind everybody just with the Bible in front of her.
Are you sure that's the door you want, my dear? You can hear that disembodied voice again.
you're not my real dad. And so with one, so I'm gonna have like my Remington in place, or what have you. And the Remington in one arm is going to be pushing the door open as the other hand just undoes the doorknob.
Excellent.
But I'm
One moment, please.
Yeah.
While
Yeah,
I
but I'm not
generate
going
your...
through the door just yet.
One moment, please, while I generate your room.
Fuck off, you quack of a doctor, fucking 40-year-old virgin. Go die in a fucking pit.
He's not a doctor. We refer to him as Mr. Quackus.
No, he doesn't deserve a fucking honorific. That's why I'm just calling it the quack.
So Quackus, got it.
The Quackmeister Supreme.
You
hear...
shouldn't even put the, just quack.
Or Quackus.
You hear cackling coming from inside the room. A
I
moment later,
swear,
you
I'm not going to
hear-
be able to watch Dr. Giggles the same again after this.
And a moment later, you hear footsteps from inside the room, but you can't quite see anything, because once again, it's dark. You can, however, feel something tugging at the tip of your gun. Please make me a strength and athletics roll. Difficulty 3.
Wait, are our phones dead?
Your phones have no service.
No, I was about to say, can we use like the flashlight in the phone?
Have any of you ever tried?
I mean, I'm trying now.
You turn on your flashlight. Congratulations.
Also, I'm going to do, because I don't have anything in athletics, I thought I did, but I'm going to do a blood surge for athletics.
Make me a rouse check, please. You pointing the flashlight into the room?
Yeah.
Your flashlight The beam from it stops at the door.
Oh, cool! Love that!
I succeeded in my rouse check.
Congratulations, you do not rouse the beast. You get an extra, I believe it's point or two, whatever your blood potency is. I think it is. You get one extra dice. Good luck.
How many successes did I need to get?
3.
I just got that!
You feel something yank your rifle, and you just barely manage to hold it back.
Nope.
And the door
Fuck you,
slams
fuck you,
shut
fuck
in
you.
your face.
Just like protectively holding Dee's arms like, oh my god.
Oh, her.
Oh, go her!
She was one of the people in the psych ward. She would always escape and end up stealing things that didn't belong to her.
Is she, like, deadly?
Last I checked, she went from just stealing things to, like, non-tangible things. I saw her rip a soul out of somebody's body.
Okay. Well. Wait. That means we're close to this. Wait. I was about to say that means we're probably close, but then I realized we're in a smoothie of a hospital at the moment.
She would often... Okay, look, I don't know how hospitals work now, but they were pretty lenient on people who weren't, like, a danger. So people could roam around a lot. That's how we lost the friggin' privilege of having holy water in the chapel because of the guy that peed in it.
It's still kind of a thing. Not as much,
They let
though.
people roam around hospital. Oh, okay.
I mean,
regardless, though.
Yeah, not as much anymore since the pandemic.
What now?
So we just recently had a pandemic. Like a plague.
You mean like that epidemic they had like a few decades ago? Well, I guess it's longer than a few decades ago. Fuck.
Yeah, we're just coming out of another epidemic.
Yeah, it was a rough
Like
one.
Wait, you mean like the Spanish flu?
Worse.
How can something be worse than the Spanish flu?
This one attacks your lungs.
Okay, regardless, if she's in there, that's not the way we gotta go.
Next
Okay.
one is-
Also, 1 second. Ginger, stop stealing my fucking shit! Isabella yells at the door.
The door opens slightly. You hear a clattering on the ground. And the door slams shut again.
What's the ground?
A Zippo lighter.
I knew you fucking stole it, bitch!
I pick up the Zippo lighter.
Wait,
Your hand
you pick up
passes
the lighter?
through it.
My hand passes through the Zippo lighter?
Yes.
Isabella reaches for it, picks it up.
You manage to grab it, not a problem. You pick it up and flick it, and it lights.
At least she didn't fucking use up all the lighter fluid again.
To the next door.
Hey, Yeah, do we want to do the next door? Do we need to try, like, another hallway, or are we just going to be in the forever hallway until we open a bunch of doors?
This is the only hallway. The only way to advance is to go through more doors. In fairness,
Okay.
the stuff we've run into so far is actually pretty... I'm not going to continue that sentence.
Yeah, no, let's, I don't want to risk finding out whether or not we vampy chicks have souls or not, for one thing, and I don't want to look a gift horse in the mouth, if you know what I mean.
Okay, so I'm going to guess that we're doing this kind of in turns, and I'm going to say it's my turn next. Oh, there's it in the end.
At the mention of them having souls, Isabella looks at all of them and slowly tilts her head. You're standing. You have what appears to be a line of thought and some form of consciousness if you willingly want to come help me. Why wouldn't you have souls?
That's up for debate. For some people.
Especially those who have, like, religiously watched Buffy the Vampire Slayer. There's a whole lore behind that, and I can't put heads or tails as to whether or not it's a thing.
You guys are
I don't think...
chatterboxes, aren't you? You like
Shut up, Quacker!
Did someone fucking invite you to this, Quack? Shut up! Let me talk!
Maybe if you could get people through the building alive, Isabella.
But
Do you want me to take your voice? Don't forget, I control you this side of things. Learn your fucking place.
Ew.
wait,
That's just uncalled for.
At least I was able to have sex with whoever I wanted without paying for it.
Oh, damn!
Out of character for a sec. Audley, you had something to say.
I was trying to be in character.
Yeah, that was me stepping out of character to say, like, you had something you wanted to say in character, go for it.
I was gonna yell at Clackamus. Clackamus! Clackamus! Clackamus!
You get nothing.
Seriously. I'm not gonna get... Okay, fine. If you were a super evil door that you wanted a group of people to open, which door would you be?
Well, that just takes away my fun.
And this is why you're called
Well,
Quackmas.
Oh,
so
if
you're-
you've been... Oh, go ahead.
you don't want to tell me which door to open?
I'd rather see you get turned into jelly first.
Oh, fluffy jelly? You are really into some dirty things. Oh my god, I'm offended. Penelope's offended. My Bible is offended. And it's not even a Christian right now.
My own dad would be offended, and I'm estranged from him.
I mean, I hate my parents and I'm offended. Like, that is rude.
Like, her parents are rolling in her stomach being offended, Quackers.
I mean, you wished my parents to be furry jelly with me. That is just gross. That's gross. So gross.
Guys, let's just go, please.
His parents really knew what they were doing when they called him Quackers.
All right. I want to look for a door that pulls towards me.
You find one not too far down the hall.
Okay, because I'm going
It's on the
to
left
stand
side.
behind it. I'm standing behind it when I pull it, so I'm technically behind the door when it opens.
You're opening this door?
I'm opening the door that I can hide behind like a Penelope.
You reach down, you grab the old... Yes.
As she's opening the door, pulling it towards her, I'm going to have my gun ready in case I do have to shoot a salt round out of bitch.
You reach down to grab the circular brass knob. You pull the door open, standing behind it. 1 moment, please. Make me a dexterity and athletics roll, please. Difficulty 4. One moment, please, while we roll dice.
Did I need to roll any dice as well, or am I good just being prepared?
Just oddly.
Don't laugh at die. They changed their mind. 4 successes, one which was the hunger. There are 2 ones though.
4 successes counts that as a success because you needed to beat 4. Therefore, your 2 ones do not kick into effect. As you turn the doorknob and open the door and manage to dodge out of the way just in time as this door rips itself out of your hands and slams against the wall.
He has an
You
attitude.
just barely manage to avoid taking that door to the face.
Holy.
Care to mouth off again?
I love this game, but also can we not hurt Penelope? She didn't do anything.
You watch as the door starts to flake and disintegrate in front of your face.
Poor Penelope. She did not ask for this.
The room,
Nope.
on the other side of the doorframe, appears to have shelving in it. With boxes. You can see something red on the other side of the room past the shelving. You're not sure if it's sitting on a table or not.
I'm going to take my phone out and turn on the flashlight.
Since I opened the door, I'm just gonna look at y'all and be like, folks that I braved the room.
That's your choice.
I don't think you
I
should go
opened-
alone.
Yeah.
Okay, if you want to go with, I'm gonna brave the room since it was my door, and also it's not like we can get shut in the room because there is no door to shut anymore.
Don't put that energy
Okay, it's
out
probably
there. You
gonna
don't know.
yeah, it might regrow while when we enter. We're gonna enter a parallel universe. I'm gonna go in first though. I'm just gonna step past the threshold real quick, holding my Bible.
You step past the threshold and everything is quiet. Everything is fairly silent.
I'm
Just like it should be.
And I'm coming in after her. Since she's shorter than me, it'd be easy for me to just like have my Remington just above her, just at the ready, just in case.
Okay.
So I'm close by.
Does anyone else feel like Yosemite Sam and I'm just like hiding underneath Yosemite Sam right now?
You slowly make your way through this room with the rifle over your head, with Dee watching your back. You get to the other side of the room, and in giant dripping swaths of paint, you see the number 10.
I take it this is where Group 10 met their end. Great.
Okay, so I'm just gonna do a pretty quick look around to see if there's anything like grabbable, you know, like we had folder before or something. If not, I'm just heading out the door again.
You turn around to head out of the door.
I'm right after.
Your paths seem to be blocked. You don't see a folder, but you do see rolls of gauze hanging in the air, just floating there for a moment.
We're about to be attacked by supplies. This is how I die. I died by supply. Supply and demand is my life.
Can I see the gauze from the doorway?
Make the intelligence plus investigation roll, please. Difficulty 3.
Oh shit!
What position are the floating gauze in? Like how much in front of us, or are they above us?
They're in front of you and above you.
Sorry, I keep thinking there's like messages in chat because it keeps going up and up in number, and every time I look, it's about cheese. That's it. Just cheese.
You're not the
Okay.
only one. I've sit here, got the chat scrolling, and I'm seeing nothing but cheese, and I'm like, fuck, I want cheese now.
I want cheese
Four
too.
successes.
You can actually see the gauze rolls from where you're standing. You, as a matter of fact, watched as the gauze rolls waited till they passed by and then lifted themselves up off of the shelves and moved to block the aisles. There is no aisle they can go down at the moment that is not covered by gauze.
You still have your lighter, D?
D flicks it and starts going towards one of the gauze to light it.
You move, and it moves towards you.
I'm doing slowly.
Please make me dexterity plus athletics roll as it rushes you.
Bitch is gonna get shot at! Dexterity athletics?
Yep.
Oh my god.
I may have to do another blood surge until I have a full point in athletics.
You're
Bodily.
welcome to do a blood surge all you
Claws.
like.
Okay, I'm gonna pop claws while that's happening.
Make me a rouse check, please.
Oh, thank God, it's a 10.
That is a success. You do
succeeded
not
at-
rouse the beast.
I succeeded as well with a 6.
You manage to dance around this roll of gauze and light it on fire, and a moment later you see Audley pop long, vicious claws out of the tips of her fingers. Audley, are you going to attack?
I'm not attacking yet. I'm just in preparation. The person taller than me with a gun? I'm just trying to hide under the gun the whole time, like...
Oh, and for the dexterity and athletics, thanks to passing my blood surge check, I got all 3 successes, a 7, 8, and 9.
Congratulations. Your successes are just enough to not only dodge,
gonna
but
light
to
shit
hold
on
onto your
fire.
gun as well. To not only dodge, but to hold your gun as well.
We're gonna light shit on
You
fire!
managed- You managed
Are
to
we-
send... You manage to light the tip of one of the rolls on fire. A moment later, you've got 2 flying at you.
Are we stuck in this room?
You can still, if you're looking around, you can still see the door is open.
Okay.
One moment.
Okay.
Pause the scene for a moment. The Bone Collector has just popped into the chat.
Just in the nick of time.
Perfect timing.
Welcome,
Yes.
Bone Daddy.
So,
There's currently flying fiery
pausing.
pausing the scene.
Right. Yes, exactly right when we needed that. That is amazing. I am happy about this so much right now.
Are you ready, Blaze?
Bone Collector. Almost as if moving on autopilot, kind of lost in your thoughts. You've been following your group along, trying to think things over. And as you're starting to pull yourself out of your thoughts, you realize not only are you in the hallway again, the hallway's peeling, dilapidated. You can hear screams off in the distance, both adult and child. You can hear what seems to be a stream of running water. You heard a door slam somewhere, you're not sure where, and you managed to fully pull yourself out of your thoughts. And then you realize you're standing in the hallway with Isabella, who's floating a few inches above the floor, and Elizabeth, who's staring in through what should be a door frame with a door, but there's no door in the door frame. And Audley and Dee are nowhere to be found at the moment until you hear something from inside the room. That sounds like something catching fire.
We didn't start the fire.
Okay,
It was
so
always burning since the world's been turning.
It sounds like fire.
Are you taking a look into the room?
Do I feel like rolling Rod Shrek right now?
You hear Dee singing.
Yeah, Adelie is over here just being like, well, that was rude. And a lot of, this is how we die, Dee. Do you see how we die?
You were the one that went in first!
What are you doing, Bone Collector?
Face palming at the moment. Give me a sec.
I should have stirred that syrup a little better. Holy shit, that was fucking sugary.
Sorry, I'm about to die by hospital bandage. Can you drink a little faster?
You got
So,
your claws,
I
you can
see-
slice and dice.
Type
I
2
see
onset diabetes.
So I see Elizabeth and Isabella backs to me, yes?
Correct. They're both looking into the room. Isabella looks just fucking bored. And Elizabeth is like, Elizabeth, paint your face for me.
How did the people die in here last time?
Story collector, is there
There's
a
a-
number?
10.
Is there a
It's
big
number 10.
number?
On the wall?
Number
I'm
10.
sorry, did you just call me the story collector?
Story collector. The collector of stories, storyteller. Is there a number on the wall?
Death by supplies. And yes, the number on the wall is 10.
If I recall correctly, this was the ghost hunters. I believe they were strangled by the gauze so hard that their heads popped off.
Like
And-
dandelions.
Can gauze do that?
If you pull tight enough.
What
Get
it did
enough
was
of
the
it.
gauze unwrapped itself, and then 3 of them braided together, and then they wrapped around the person's neck, around and around and around, and then they pulled at either ends until it slowly started to get tighter and tighter and tighter until the head pooped off, and then there was a big fountain of blood that came out of it.
Oh, fuck.
But then I brought my lighter with me.
Oh,
I mean, that was
so
one
I
of
know-
them, and then the boxes decide to pile up on top of another person until it literally crushed them under the weight of everything. Luckily, the person suffocated from asphyxiation first.
Bone collector.
What's in the fucking box?
What kind of
Phone
boxes?
call.
Cardboard or wood?
Hold on. First, Audley, were you going to say anything?
I'm just freaking out. It's okay.
Second, sorry, Audley, are you good to continue?
Yes, I'm fine to continue. I'm trying to listen, take in, figure out what Adelie can actually hear being said, and try to like keep up with D while also clawing with a Bible at a bunch of hospital equipment that's going to try and murder her.
Bone collector.
I'm reaching out and I'm placing a hand upon Elizabeth's shoulder from behind.
Elizabeth, you know the bone collector's been with you, but as far as you're aware, he was kind of lost in a trance. You feel a hand just kind of reach out and place itself on your shoulder.
So arms are like this on the door. What hand? This shoulder or this shoulder? Which one?
It'd be on her right, and it would be his left hand.
Okay, because this arm automatically turned into a fist and just behind, just like feels hand just whack.
That'll be strength plus melee. If you're attempting to stop, bone collector, that'll be strength plus melee. If you're attempting to dodge, that's dex plus athletics. Highest number of successes wins.
You're probably gonna win, but you know, it's okay. Alright, what you got, bud?
Can't see it. The glare. Yep.
Glares too much on the screen, unfortunately.
I was going to say, just lower your phone brightness a bit. 3 successes.
Yeah, I have 2 successes, so you win.
Did you dodge or did you attempt to grab?
Oh, I grappled the flailing fist.
So, Elizabeth, you go to swing, your hand forms into a fist, you go to swing behind you out of pure instinct, and a moment later you feel a hand grab yours and stop at mid-swing.
So obviously I turn around and I'm like, oh my god, it's you.
What happened so far?
Well, they went into this door, Gauze started attacking them, this is where we're at.
Isabella, is there a number in this room?
10.
Then we need to keep moving.
I feel I must tell you that just because it goes a certain order doesn't mean that 17 made it the furthest, and it doesn't mean that 1 was the closest.
No, but if my thoughts are on the subject is, if this was a room with a number, it means this was a room of death. Thus, we should continue to move on until we find a room that doesn't have a number.
I mean, we're trying to get to the psych ward because the shrink knew Quack best, so...
Okay. Is this the room with the shrink or the psych ward at all?
The shrink only goes to the psych ward.
Okay. Is
The
this
only way
the
we can
psych
find the
ward?
psych ward is to open doors.
Okay. This isn't the psych ward. This is a room.
No, it's not.
You just see Elizabeth's eyes start just twitching, just like,
We're going to cut back to Otley and D for a moment. You manage to light one of these rolls of gauze on fire. Oddly standing there with rather large claws. You hear a slight rustling, and a moment later a box on one of the shelves wobbles.
Is it cardboard or
And two
wooden?
more... No, it's cardboard. And a moment later, 2 more rolls of gauze aim for each of you. If you are attempting to fight, it's going to be strength plus brawl. Strength plus melee. If you're attempting to dodge, it's going to be dex plus athletics.
What if we're just trying to get the fuck out of the room?
That's going to be dex plus
Yeah,
athletics.
athletics. Everybody
I'm
out.
driving Natalie and we're trying to get out.
You're hearing a very growly, like, get out.
That's what we're trying to do!
Oh.
Difficulty 3. And because there are 2 rolls aiming for each of you, you need to make 2 rolls.
Okay, I'm not sure on what I'm actually rolling because there were just 3 options given, and I was trying to read.
Are you attempting to... Hold on. Are you attempting to fight, or are you attempting to get out of the room?
I'm trying to get out of the room, but remember, I still have my Bible holding up. So
Yes. In that case, you're going to do dex plus athletics. And you're going to roll twice because you have 2 things of gauze coming at you.
okay.
So, you know what? As a matter of fact, you have the Bible in front of you, which means I will give you an extra dice to roll under athletics.
Yes.
Just for you.
Thank you.
We'll count that as your cover.
So I did another blood surge for my athletics, and I failed the blood surge, so I have 1 point of hunger now.
You rouse the
This
beast.
being said-
Congratulations. Make your roll.
Beast is roused as I go to grab Audley and help her get out. Basically, we're both just, like, booking it.
Don't forget you have to roll
I
twice.
have a lot to roll. It helps to be the strongest small member of the group, but there's a lot to roll here. Okay.
So, first roll, I got a 10 for my hunger dice, and then a 6 and a 5.
For your second roll, because your first one's a messy critical. What'd you get, D?
2 10s, one of them was the hunger dice again, and then a 1.
We'll come back to that in a moment. Audley, what did you roll?
Okay, do you want everything put together, or do you want them separated for each roll?
Separated for each roll.
Okay, so the first one is 3 successes, one of which is a 10. There's also a 1 in there, but the hunger dice was a success. It was just an 8, so we're fine.
Okay.
The second one had 4 successes, also with a 10.
You guys manage to dodge the incoming gauze. You actually manage to dance around the 3 boxes that fall off of one of the top shelves, attempting to pin you to the floor. One of them wooden splinters all over the place. You hear a resounding crash from behind you. And then, Audley, you get thrown out of the room as Dee pushes you, turns around with her rifle, raises it up, looks down the sight, emits a rather bestial growl, and fires off 2 shots in quick succession, shredding 4 rolls of gauze to tatters. Before she steps out of the room.
Bone Collector reaches out, grabs the door handle, and slams it shut.
There is no
There's
door.
no door.
There's no door!
Yeah, the door already attacked us and then disintegrated.
R.I.P. Penelope 5.0.
Don't even 10.0 at this point.
Not quite.
I'm
Not
surprised you
quite.
haven't named the doors Dora.
Only
their
if
name's
we're
Penelope.
exploring.
So from one of the first episodes when we first met and woke up together, Audley named a door Penelope and carried it with her all the way to the church where she kept it at the church. She has kept this door the whole time. This is her door. And its name is Penelope. So now every door that we come across has to be named Penelope. And Audley loves doors.
I understand the lore. Isabella was making a pun.
Dora.
Dora.
Get it? Like the explorer? And
Anyways.
even Bone Collector was getting into the pun.
Anyways,
All right. Let's... How far are we from the chapel?
We're going
We
to see
just
the shrink.
left.
it's somewhere back down the hallway.
Hey, Bones,
Okay.
in case you weren't paying attention, there's a possibility that even if we did go back the direction we just came, we're not going to end up the same place.
That is true. But I have an idea. No, I don't have that idea. I'm sorry, we're not Scooby-Dooing this, okay?
What
I
does
am-
Scooby-Doo have to do with this?
We're not splitting up, gang.
Yeah, what?
Oh no, that's how group number 11 died.
Exactly. So I'm pretty sure there's a Freddy dead in here somewhere then. Was he blonde, by the way?
No, he was African American.
Oh, well. It rules out that Freddy had an ascot around his neck then.
He had a handkerchief.
You know you guys are gonna die in here while you're talking, right? You're just gonna be more fuel for my battery.
You know that you're a fucking virgin who can't fucking get laid because you decide to kill everyone you see because of the...
Your voice cuts.
Oh,
I'll say it. You incel.
40-year-old virgin.
Let me guess, the reason why you're doing this now is because someone decided to place wax on your hair?
I've had just about enough of your sass, young lady.
I had enough about your ass, young man.
Oh,
You gonna come and
Why?
find me, or are you just gonna sit there shooting your fucking mouth off?
Well,
I
if
don't
you
know.
stopped being a coward and running away from us, speaking through a lens, maybe we could actually try.
Oh,
you
no,
seem
you're
to
just
not be
today's
any
version.
rush or
really-
anything.
I'm really getting tired of your shit. We've had enough doors. Grow up and actually face us if you're so high and mighty. If
You
not, leave us the fuck alone.
You're just today's
Like,
entertainment.
let her go.
Yes, Bone Collector, what's up?
Not out of character. I am going to, while they're talking, unzip my backpack for the first time in a while and pull out the hoard of bones that I have in my backpack. And I'm going to fleshcraft my own bones. Essentially what's going to happen is I'm going to make them thick enough and long enough to have them essentially at each door that we can see, laddered almost, and essentially what I'm going to do is bash open all those doors at one shot.
Strength plus melee, please. And you're also going to have to make a roll for the flesh crafting, I believe. One success. Congratulations. You do not rouse the beast. Make your roll.
Yep.
Do I need to roll to see if Isabella gets her voice back, or are we just going to say for story purposes she's lost her voice for she's on timeout?
1 moment. 5 successes. You throw open a number of the doors. As far down the hallway as you can see, they all open. A moment later, you watch them as they pull closer to you and merge into one door on either side of the hallway. If you happen to look over at Isabella, looks like her arm's bleeding.
I didn't realize that ghosts could bleed.
Yeah, that's... It... Would D actually have a little bit of a better understanding? Like, because she's got 2 dots in occult, being the goth girl that
Intelligence
she
plus
is.
occult.
Okay.
Intelligence plus occult.
Can I do that too?
Sure.
I got nothing. If anything, I'm just gonna go up to, even though she's a floating, I'm just gonna put my hands around arm area and just be like, whoa, what's happening? What's going on?
4 successes. Thank you.
Isabella can't talk right now, but she looks very, very... She has that teenage expression where she's like, I'm so tough, I'm not actually hurting, but you can tell she's like, oh my god, this fucking hurts.
Can you sign? Do you know ASL? Can you sign?
Isabella, it hurts to move your arm.
So I'm gonna say no. Okay, then we'll just wait it out.
1 moment while D rolls.
successes.
3
successes. Yeah, 2 failures.
Isabella's attached to the hospital. You also know that your surgeon has no issues pulling his weight. And right now he's in control. Which means you have a choice, as far as you can figure. You can either play the game, or if you try to get around the rules, your guide and ward here takes the damage.
Oh, and here I thought he just wanted to kill us.
Isabella, please roll me a d10.
I'm also going to roll while she's rolling. I'm rousing the hunger by 1 in order to
7.
make my bone ladders into a bone whip.
Hey, Bones.
7?
Bones, be careful. While Quackos has control of the hospital, anything we try doing to get around his stupid shithead ways will end up hurting Elizabeth. Or Isabella.
I became aware of that.
Isabella, you rolled a 7? You can talk.
Fuck!
Yep. Yeah.
Yep.
Don't do that again, please.
What kind of coward who creates something decides that he can't handle it himself?
A
Didn't
limp-dicked
create me.
coward.
Not you, but he definitely attached you to his own creation, didn't he?
Yeah, because he's a limp-dick coward.
Mm-mm.
So here's a question. Who's in control right now? You or him?
Him.
Okay.
Yes.
And who is he putting in the way of any brunt force that should have been for him? You, right?
We need to keep going.
Yeah, let's go through that door that I opened apparently with one.
One moment, please. You open the door into what appears to be a common room. Worn out couches, seating. There's even a small, what might be an old pool table in the center that felt long since worn away. Wood scratched. The windows with a breeze floating kind of through the cracks in the glass. You can feel it feels almost a bit refreshing, just a little too refreshing. You can smell the scent of you can smell a hint of the scent of decay on the air. You walk through the door, screaming. Behind you stops for the moment. Next to one of the couches, you see a table with a manila folder.
I'm observing the walls right now for any red number.
Same.
17.
Is there also a pathway opposite of where we are to getting out?
There's another door on the other side of the room.
Isabella?
I'm going to use my bone whip to try to lasso the manila folder.
I'm going to
Dex-
make sure that I am close enough to grab him out of the door frame in case he gets tried to pull in.
Dexterity plus athletics, I believe, is the roll for that.
Is it? I believe it's dex and melee because it is a melee weapon.
In that case, Dex plus melee, please.
I'm holding on
What
to him by
happened
the
to the
belt.
people in this room?
One moment.
I missed it. What's the number on this one?
17.
17.
I would say lasso the table.
Four successes.
4 successes. You managed to grab the manila folder.
Yay! And whips it back to me.
There's several pages in this manila folder that fall out, along with an old, worn journal. I'm going to let
That's hot.
Isabella go. Hello, Critter. I see you. Please bear with me for one moment.
They were impaled by the pool instruments.
Ah,
Pool instruments. You mean the
The pool cues.
table or... Okay, so pool table, right, is in here?
Yeah, there's a pool table in there with pool cues and everything, and they were impaled by the pool cues. Let's not have that happen.
Handing over the manila folder to Elizabeth.
They were just looking for shelter from the cold.
Elizabeth.
Again, so
Hold on a second. I want to jump to Audley for a moment, because Audley's been really quiet.
Audley just hasn't had anything to do in this moment.
Okay, just
Everyone
checking in.
else kind of took the reins, and I'm here.
Okay, is there anything you would like to do?
I'm just going to be looking around to see if I can decide on another door to open. Should we do that?
We'll give you...
I'm always looking for ones that pull out, though, because
We'll give you first dibs when we get back to that then, okay?
it's okay. We still haven't let Elizabeth try a door.
Yeah,
thanks for letting them know. Great.
Yes.
I was
Thank you for
I was just checking
sliding
in.
under the radar.
I was just checking in with you because you've been quiet for a while, so I wanted to make sure that we weren't skipping you or anything like that.
No, I was just letting everyone else take the lead.
Okay. Elizabeth, what are you doing?
So I'm holding the envelope in my hand, and then taking again just tip of nail to open it and just start going through the pages. What am I reading?
Hospital logs from the security guard. There's 3 pages in this manila envelope and a journal. Security log. Nurse Emily Anderson, a dedicated and caring staff member, was the first to vanish. She was last seen late one evening during her night shift, diligently tending to her patient. One moment. Nurse Emily Anderson, a dedicated and caring staff member, was the first to vanish. She was seen late one evening during her night shift, diligently tending to her patients. However, when her replacement arrived for the morning shift, Nurse Anderson was nowhere to be found. Her belongings were still in the nurse's station, and her absence was noticed only when she failed to show up for her morning handover. Log number 2. Sorry, one second. One second. My computer's doing things here. Log number 2. Patient Thomas Baker, a middle-aged man recovering from a routine surgery, was the second to mysteriously disappear. He'd been making steady progress and was looking forward to being discharged. However, one morning, the hospital staff discovered an empty bed in his room. There were no signs of forced entry or struggle, leading to perplexity amongst the staff. Log number 3. Dr. Samantha Turner, a brilliant young surgeon, was the most recent disappearance to shock the hospital. She'd been working tirelessly in the operating theater, showcasing her exceptional skills. However, when the surgical team prepared for a scheduled procedure, Dr. Turner was nowhere to be found. Her colleagues searched every corner of the hospital, but found no trace of her except for her lab coat, which was hanging on the door of the operating room.
What was the second person again? Sorry.
Thomas Baker, middle-aged patient recovering from a routine surgery. He was on his way to be discharged. And when they went looking for him, he was gone. All that remains is the journal.
Is it thick? Or is it just okay, so I open the front cover.
It's just a page.
What does it,
You open the front cover, however, and and a piece of jewelry falls out with amber gemstones and worn, tarnished metal. Isabella, you've seen this many times before, but not for a long while. It looks elaborate and glitters in the light. And that's where we're going to pause for BRB. That's where we're going to pause and end this session.